We're Chelsea and Tony Northrup, and we're going to photograph a car show. So we're at the Ocean Beach Car Show, and as I had expected, it's very busy. There are people in front of all of the cars. So one thing I like to do is just focus on the details that make a car beautiful and take close-up shots. So I see a grill on this truck that I like, so I'll zoom in on that and get a close-up picture. Another thing to consider when you're taking shots is that the cars are all really reflective, so you want to probably wear dark clothing so that you're not so visible in your own pictures. The reflections seen in cars can often be a huge distraction, but with a bit of creativity, you can make them a focal point. Ah, this car has a beautiful grille. This would make a good close-up picture. If there are a lot of people around, I suggest just waiting till people clear out. They usually move, and then you can get your shot. This car actually has a pretty clean background, so if I'm patient and I wait for people to clear out, I might be able to get it nice enough so that I can go in later into Photoshop and just clone out any distractions.
Just about any camera will work for car shows, including even your smartphone. But for me, I like to grab a camera that has a tilty screen. This lets me get down low or hold it up high. I can lean out over into a car engine bay and point it down for interesting angles. That's my next tip, is get down nice and low. Get close to your subject and use forced perspective. You can use this to make the wheels seem nice and fat. Gorgeous car. It also lets you lean out a little bit without touching their car. For a lot of types of photography, you don't want hard light, you want soft light. For a car show, I like the sun to be out, no clouds. I even like it to be high in the sky because I like to work those reflections. I like to find the glare in the cars. One thing I don't like is to use a polarizing filter. Polarizing filters cut glare, but I want that reflection and that glare.
If the sun is lower in the sky, long shadows could ruin your shots. They might also make your shot.
We cover composition in Chapter 2 of Stunning Digital Photography, but a quick tip is to use symmetry. Symmetry makes cars seem more powerful. So I'll get down low and put myself right in the middle of the car, center myself perfectly on it. I'll usually just use the standard kit lens, but a fisheye lens can be really fun too, and they're not that expensive. Fisheye lenses turn straight lines into curved lines and let you get super close and just fill the frame with the subject. So for this engine bay, I'll turn on my fisheye here and get nice and tight inside. If you do use a fisheye, you gotta get really close to your subject or everything seems real far away. Think about what your subject of the photo is, because your subject isn't just a car. The subject is a part of the car, some aspect of the car that you really like. That can be a crease in the car or a line. It can be the big fat tires on a race car. But in a car show, it's almost never the entire car because there would be too many distractions. So if you see a car that catches your eye, think about what about that car caught your eye. Helps to study car design a little bit so you can really appreciate the parts of a car that make it beautiful. If you are shooting in bright sunlight, you're going to deal with high contrast. You might have really bright reflections, but then the engine bay will be completely dark. This is a perfect time to bracket and use HDR techniques. Your camera or smartphone might have an HDR mode. You can use that. Or check Chapter 11 in Stunning Digital Photography for bracketing techniques. This just lets you show both the shadows and the highlights. I also like to include the sun in my photos. It makes a really cool focal point and can pull the eye away from all the people and distractions in the background. I love when cars are moving, and cars at car shows are still, but you can add some visual movement to it by putting a Dutch tilt on the picture, just tilting the picture a little bit. So here's just a straight picture of a car. And here it is with just a little Dutch tilt. That deliberate tilt just makes the picture a little more interesting and adds a little movement to it. What a beautiful car. 435 were made. shoot it at, you gotta get the exhaust, and you know you gotta get those taillights. How you doing, John? Good. This car is cool.
I wanted to show the similarity of the dice on the door lock and the mirror, but when I focused on the door, the mirror was out of focus because of shallow depth of field. To solve that, I switched the camera to aperture priority mode, chose a higher f-stop of f11, and focused between the two dice. The most striking feature of this modified Thunderbird was the long back end. To find the best way to capture it, I started low and moved my camera higher. I also zoomed in tight.